Oh, but don't worry, Brother Aberdeen said, still smiling friendly and openly to Mika and her crew. We don't care what your motivations are, or who you are. Unlike the other people who come here to this planet, those who are affiliated with our order do not care if you are good or bad or in between. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with the deal. Even if you are affiliates with some sort of government agency, hoping to bring down criminal organizations, we would of course deal with you, should the price be equivalent to what we could gain. As long as it's worth it, we'll cut a deal. Always. This is how the Brotherhood works. We don't care what your origin or purpose is. Your motivations are beside the point. The only thing that matters is whether we profit from it. Well, isn't that an interesting way to see things? Mika replied. Now, on to less serious matters, Brother Aberdeen said, smiling brightly still. Is there anything that you guys might want individually? I assure you, I'm quite a capable individual. I have my own connections and means. Perhaps something simple, or not affiliated with your current mission objective. I can sense the desires within each and every one of you. All of you have your own unique desires, wills, wishes that could be granted. Ones that might not have anything to do with anyone other than you. I assure you, we can be quite helpful. And of course, we are bound by a sense of honor when it comes to dealing, making barters. Unlike anyone else, when you're dealing with a member of the Brotherhood, you can always expect that we will not offer you what we cannot give you. We will not make promises we cannot fulfill. That being said, if your desire is strong enough, the Brotherhood can fulfill most any desire, even if you believe it impossible. I have even heard of circumstances in which the god himself appeared to barter with an individual. It's exceptionally rare. Calling him apparently requires a gathering of a large number of Brotherhood members, a summoning ritual of sorts. But in times when the Brotherhood itself is unable to grant the request, but the individual still has the desire to see it fulfilled by any means necessary, they can actually call to the dealer god. Whether he appears or not, it depends on whether that person has what is required, what would make it worthy of his emerger. They say that nothing's beyond his power, even restoring the dead to life. This whole thing is asinine. Restoring the dead to life? That's insane. Dead is dead, Mia said, with a disgruntled expression on her face from behind Mika. Ah, and a disbeliever. That's perfectly all right. You're not required to believe it's possible. So, Miss Disbeliever, he said, smiling over to Mia, perhaps there's something that I could offer you that might change your opinion of what's the Brotherhood is capable of. I can, of course, look into it, so long as you are willing to pay the price. No, thank you. I'm not interested. It was at that point that Brother Aberdeen's glance seemed to shift away from Mia. Ah, and there we have it, he said, as he looked over to Obadal. I see it stirring there. A desire. Something powerful. Something that you want. Oh, and such a pure desire it is, he said, as Obadal was staring at the floor. I sense neither malice nor greed within the desire. It is one spoken purely from the heart. Something untainted by corruption. Something in all essence pure. There is no need for secrecy here. If you have a desire, simply speak it. Okay, Obadal replied. You say that you guys can grant any desire, right? So tell me, what if someone wanted to find their soulmate? Someone they were meant to be with? What would your answer be to that? How would your order fulfill that desire? Ooh, a man after love. And truly, that is a request that we receive. And quite regularly, you would be surprised at how many people there are in the universe whose sole desire is to simply not be alone, to find someone whom with they can truly belong. Now, the only question is how to facilitate that desire. And the measure of facilitation might also be a reflection of what you are willing to offer. Brother Aberdeen said, there are many things that might help your objective. At the furthest end of the pole, it might even be possible to summon your soulmate right to this very location, to pull them from wherever they happen to be and bring them here. But that would be a massive task. The universe is in fact a big place, with oh so many countless people in it. The demand for such a thing would require substantial payment. However, I do not think that that's something that myself as an individual could offer. But I could give you a helping hand, something to ease the journey and make it easier in all of this chaotic, uncontrollable, shifting and bending of the universe and the strings of fate in it. I could offer you a charm. A charm? Obadal replied. That's all you got? A charm? Well, that's all that I'm truly capable of offering, at least myself. If you deal with the order at a grander scale, offer more, then surely they could offer you a far more effective means. But if the price you're willing to pay isn't that high, a charm might suffice. Something simple. The function of the charm is that whoever wears it can be given direction. Think of it like a compass. A compass that pulls you towards your destiny. In this case, specifically, the person whom you're meant to be with, who will eventually claim your heart. Regardless of the distance between you, the compass will always point in their direction, guiding you. This artifact will be attuned specifically to whomever we first lay it upon. It will work for them and no one else. The more finite we make it, the less effort that is required from us to produce it, and thus the less you are required to pay for it. If we made it work for anyone, that would require substantially more effort. But just one for you, I alone could manage that. Now, the real question is, what are you willing to pay for it? Such a charm is not easy to create. It takes resources, money, and other things that are much harder to come by. So, what to ask for it? Brother Aberdeen said, beginning to ponder the question, scratching his chin a bit as he looked Obadal over. You look like a rather strong and fierce individual, should I say, Brother Aberdeen said. Most likely quite capable in combat, yes? Yeah, that's about the size of it, Obadal replied, beginning to look seriously towards him. And how about this? I offer the pendant to you, and in exchange, all that I will ask of you is a favor. You see, every now and again, people believe us a joke, that they can simply take what they wish and refuse to pay, as you're part of the arrangement. In exchange for the pendant, I will ask for a single life, in exchange for a compass that will lead you to the person you are meant to be with in this universe. a guide that will take you directly to them. I will ask that one day, if I contact you and ask you to kill a specific person, that you do so. Bear in mind that, of course, the arrangement will have to be fair. I won't go asking you to kill the king of an entire planet, or somebody that's completely outside of your reach. Someone that you'd most likely die coming in confrontation with. No, it will be much more reasonable than that. Equivalent to what is offered. The life of someone that you will one day love, in exchange for the termination of the life of someone that has crossed me. Along with the pendant, you will receive a deep space communications device that I will affix to you. It will lock into place and be unremovable. It will allow me to find you regardless of where you are, contact you through it, and make the request when the time comes. Do the terms sound acceptable? Brother Aberdeen said with a smile, as he extended his hand towards Obadal. And for a moment, Obadal stared at it. Mika could see his fingers beginning to twitch as he thought over the question. Would it be worth it?